Hi Knights, Kwangsu here, and welcome to another Princess Connect Redive video. Today we'll be rating all of the 6-star characters that will be released in 2023. This is especially important as on certain months, more than one 6-star upgrade will get released, meaning that you really have to spend your resources wisely so that you can continue to clear new content efficiently in the game. A 6-star upgrade for a character gives a lot of extra stats, a new character portrait, and an upgraded Union Burst. These Union Burst upgrades tend to be extremely overpowered, making each character rise up from irrelevancy to become meta-defining. For each character, I will give a short summary of their kit and give them a rating representing how worth it is to upgrade them to 6 stars on a scale from SSS to C. I will also be including which month each upgrade is released. Credit goes to CrazyYanmega for helping me with the research in this video. He posts PvP videos for the Japanese version of the game, and the link to his channel will be in the description below. I would also like to credit Nyara, as I used their 6-star overview as a baseline to gather my thoughts on characters, and I will link their document with their information in the description as well. The tier list ratings translate to as follows. SSS is must upgrade, S is a strong upgrade, A is a middling upgrade, B is a bad upgrade, and C is so bad it's not worth spending resources on that upgrade. Maho's 6-star upgrade brings a lot to the table. She gets an increase in her TP recovery, a TP regenerate buff, and has one of the highest team-wide magical attack buffs in the game. Not only that, she also gets a hidden mechanic where she also grants additional TP to allies based on their TP boost, which is capped at 350 TP points. She is one of New Carol's best partners alongside Nenon or Kasumi, and is therefore used all the time in PvE content. As a TP battery, she basically gets used in every game mode, making her a very safe choice to raise up to 6 stars. Therefore, I rate her an SSS. Rei's 6-star upgrade is insane. Her Union Burst grants her a buff called Wind Blade, which doubles all damage and effects that the user applies from her skills. This effect applies to her skill 1's Defense Shred, making her one of the best armor shredders in the game. Combined with her absurd damage from the Wind Blade buff, she is a meta-defining character and sees use in CB and PvE. Therefore, I rate her an S. Kiori's 6-star upgrade gives her a lot of raw firepower. It makes her Union Burst AoE, allowing her to take down many members of the enemy team with just that ability alone. However, as she has no utility, her use is entirely dictated by her numbers, and as most characters are, she is power crept. That being said, she's still incredibly strong on release, and sees use in all game modes. Therefore, I rate her an A. Yui's 6-star upgrade gives her some desperately needed utility. Already one of the better healers in the game, this upgrade grants her Union Burst, physical defense, and action speed buffs. It also grants every ally a physical barrier. This action speed buff is the strongest in the game on release at a 100% increase. This is actually the same amount as Monica, but she can only use the skill that grants this buff once per wave, while 6-star Yui can use it continuously throughout a fight. She sees a lot of use in CB and PvP. Therefore, I rate her an S. Hatsune's 6-star upgrade makes her meta-defining in PvP. Her upgraded Union Burst only deals a little more damage, but the real kicker is that it reduces the magical defense of all enemies who deal physical damage and stuns them for 6 seconds. Let me repeat, this stuns all enemies who deal physical damage for 6 seconds! This is extremely broken, and in combination with TP battery units such as Yukari and Luna, Hatsune can stun lock enemy teams and continually whittle their HP down to 0 by spamming her Union Burst. Her Union Burst will progressively deal more damage with each consecutive use as well due to the magical defense shredding. As stated, this is limited only to enemy units that deal physical damage, but the ones that deal magic damage tend to be super squishy and are usually unable to target Hatsune. This makes her the god of PvP, and she is unrivaled in her ability to nuke down the entire enemy team. Therefore, I rate her an SSS. Cygames knew that after releasing 6-star Hatsune that she needed a strong counter to balance things out, and that's what we got in 6-star Tamaki's upgrade. Her Union Burst is a damaging skill that targets the enemy with the highest magical attack. The 6-star upgrade grants her additional damage if the target deals magical damage and lowers their physical defense drastically. There are lots of magic damage units like 6-star Hatsune in PvP, so having a character like this raised is extremely useful when attacking people in your bracket. That being said, this does make her a niche character, and she really only sees play as a counter to certain team compositions in PvP, and sometimes in CB to deal with magic damage bosses and stop them from Union Bursting. Therefore, I rate her a B. Mifuyu. My favorite character in Priconne, she's incredibly useless currently in the game. This completely changes with her 6-star upgrade. The damage on her Union Burst is doubled, and if the enemy targeted is already under an immobilizing effect, she deals damage to all enemies and stuns them for 4 seconds. Very comparable to 6-star Hatsune, with the catch that the broken AoE stun is conditional. Extremely strong in PvP, assuming she can Union Burst a stunned enemy. She's not really used anywhere else, but at least she's finally useful. Strong even. Therefore, I rate her an A. Shizuru excels at defending allies from physical attacks, and this is accentuated by her 6-star upgrade. Her Union Burst now deals double the damage, raises physical defense of allies, increases the strength of the physical barrier it deploys, and regenerates HP for allies. As she is focused on defending against physical damage, this does make her more niche as a unit, and in my opinion is not worth as upgrading as a lot of the other units mentioned in this video. Therefore, I rate her a B. Ayane has become pretty irrelevant as a character, possessing a unique knockback mechanic that shoots the frontmost character off screen. Her 6-star upgrade makes this knockback and the damage it deals AoE, targeting the entire frontline. That being said, it still doesn't deal that much damage, and the rest of her kit is also extremely underwhelming, possessing a bunch of debuffs like stun, action speed down, and physical defense shred that have really weak numbers. Therefore, I rate her a C. Once upon a time, Akino was a completely useless character that saw no play in all game modes. With her 6-star upgrade, she becomes an absolute monster, completely unrivaled in PvE, clan battle, and even sees use in PvP. The upgrade makes her Union Burst the strongest single target attack in the game, deploys an absorption barrier for herself that heals her when she takes damage, buffs her physical attack with a physical attack ratio of 54, which makes it the strongest physical attack buff in the game on release, and deploys a field around the frontmost enemy that deals damage over time for 15 seconds that scales with their monstrous post-buff physical attack. The highest damage dealing character on release, and with defensive tools as well, she is worthy of her rating of SSS. Sarin's use is heavily dependent on the meta, as she recovers the TP of the ally positioned closest to her. With her main utility not being attached to her Union Burst, it meant that anything they could have given her on her Union Burst would end up being underwhelming, and that ended up being correct. Sarin's 6-star upgrade grants her AoE damage Union Burst additional damage and applies a physical attack and magical attack buff to all allies that scales harder based on how low her HP is. The buffs ratio is already pretty solid, so depending on the situation, Sarin can be clutch for your team in PvP. That being said, she would be used anyway regardless, so it's not that big of a priority to get her to 6 stars. Therefore, I rate her a B. Extremely popular in PvP when the game launched, Nenon really fell off over time in terms of her usage as other characters got released into the game. That being said, her 6-star upgrade brings her straight back to the forefront of the meta for PvP. Her 6-star upgrade grants her Union Burst additional damage, buffs her physical attack, and recovers her ATP. The thing is, the physical attack buff's potency and the amount of TP she recovers is drastically increased the more enemies are defeated by the damage portion of her Union Burst. In the right circumstances, she can spam her Union Burst and completely run over enemy teams in one fell swoop. Extremely meta warping on launch, and continues to see use to this very day. Therefore, I rate her an A. Mahiro as a unit was just like Akino, seeing almost zero use in all game modes. Unfortunately, her 6-star upgrade is kind of underwhelming in comparison. It grants her Union Burst additional damage, increases the stun duration, knocks back the frontmost enemy, and all enemies near where the knockbacked enemy lands take damage and are afflicted with the Confusion debuff. This is a pretty strong effect for PvP, but in practice a lot of teams are unaffected by such an ability, and Mahiro doesn't deal that much damage in general, so overall the upgrade kinda falls flat. Therefore, I rate her a C. Susanna fell off a lot as an archer, being outclassed by both Kiori and Orisa after unique equipment were released. Too bad for Kiori. Even though the JP version of the game is 3 years ahead, she still hasn't gotten her 6-star upgrade, while Susanna gets hers relatively soon. That being said, with her upgrade, she becomes one of the highest damage dealers in the game on release. Her Union Burst post-upgrade now buffs her critical damage by 25%, and almost triples the amount of damage her Union Burst does. As her damaging abilities are guaranteed to crit, this increases her damage output drastically. She sees use in clan battle and PvE, but she will fall out of favor in the meta as more characters get released. Therefore, I rate her a B. Akari has become pretty niche after so many new characters have been released, but after her 6-star upgrade, she returns to the metagame. Her upgraded Union Burst now increases magic attack of all allies drastically, raises magical crit rate chance, and reduces all enemies' magical defense. The HP drain buff that heals allies after the attack is also buffed. She sees a lot of use in both PvE and CB, but falls off pretty quickly in terms of usage overall. Therefore, I rate her an A. And with that, that's all of the 6-star character upgrades rated. Please like if the video helped you out, and subscribe for more Princess Connect Redive content. Do you agree with my ratings? Let me know in the comments below. I have a community Discord, so feel free to join that as well. The link will be in the description, along with the link to the tier list you see on screen right now. I've arranged the tier list so that the relative strength of the characters are accounted for. Stronger characters are on the left, and weaker characters are on the right. I've also included the previous 6-star character upgrades from 2022, so you can see how they stack up against the new upgrades coming in 2023. Also, please drop a 6-star in the comments below if you reached this part of the video. My name is Kwangsu, and I'll see you guys in the next video.